Welcome back to the Prescription Podcast. I'm joined by a very special guest today. If you don't know her already, then it's Chloe Bay.
Hey guys!
So for those of you that don't know, Chloe is obviously an influencer on Instagram, although I know she probably hates that word. And also, for those of you that don't know, she also goes out with my brother. How she puts up with him, I don't know, but we're here. So yeah, thanks for coming on, babe.
Thanks for having me.
So exciting. So I just wanted to kind of bring you on so that you could maybe break the stigma, if you like, about influencers and how people might perceive you online. Because obviously online, you're posting all the time, you're super confident, you're posting like in lingerie or swimwear and stuff like that. And I remember when Mitch first said like, oh, I'm seeing Chloe Bain, and I was like, oh my God, like she's so intimidating. Not intimidating, but like just because of your presence online and probably how people perceive you. From my opinion, you're so different to how people might perceive you online. Not that you're pretending to be something, but like I was thinking, oh my gosh, she's going to be really like confident and overpowering, and you're so
opposite
to that, like super shy, really calm. Like the work we've had to do on these mics before getting on, because her voice is like,
my voice is so soft.
So soft. Like she's one of those people that if you had a sleep app or something, it would be like stories from Chloe Bain, because her voice is just so like soothing and calm, whereas I'm the complete opposite. So do you think people perceive you differently? I know you've done stuff before where it's like first impressions and what people think of you.
Yeah.
Do you think people perceive you differently to how you actually are?
Yeah, like I've had a lot of times where people have come up to me and been like, oh, I used to think you were stuck up, or like rude, or like just not a very nice person. And then when people get to know me, they're like, oh my God, you're actually really nice. Like you're really cute. I get that a lot. Like, oh, you're so cute, or
My
like
voice is so cute.
You're so like quiet, or like you're not how you perceive yourself online. And it's like, I think a picture, like I think a lot of people think, because they see this picture, which is just a picture, do you know what I mean? But I think a lot of people think, oh, she must be this kind of person, whereas like I'm literally like so different. Like I'm just like, I don't know, it's weird, like when I do my pictures, it's just like I am, you know, quite confident and things like that, but me myself, I am just quite like shy.
You're a normal girl.
Yeah, like it does. I think people think because you know, I post in like you say bikinis and lingerie that you have to be, oh, she must be loud, or she must be quite rude or stuck up, and it's like, no, it's like literally the opposite.
Yeah. Did you know, I mean, nobody kind of grows up, especially in our era, thinking, I'm going to be an Instagram model, I'm going to be an influencer. And I know, like, conversations that we've had before, you kind of just fell into this line of work. But when did you start to realise that this was picking up quick? Because I think we've had conversations before where it kind of just happened quite quickly, didn't it?
Probably 2018. But I've literally had like 3 Instagram accounts, and I've told you.
Really?
Have I not told you?
No.
Yeah, I've had like, my first one got deleted, and then my second one
posting nudes on the ground.
No, my first one got deleted by someone. I'm not going to mention any names.
Oh, okay.
But, and then my second one, I got hacked. And then I think this is the third time lucky now that I'm on, so don't you talk about it. But,
don't want to jinx it.
But yeah, so the first time I was just posting selfies, literally. I think I was working at Carpeo at the time.
Which for those of you
which I think a lot of people might know what that is.
If you're from Swindon, you probably know what it is, but it's like a call centre.
Yeah.
Not to diss anybody that works there, but it's
a bit of a mad place.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was working there at the time, and I was just like posting selfies like you do literally like in the like toilet mirror, like hey guys. I think I was like 20 or 21 at the time. So yeah, I was just posting selfies, and then so I think I was on like 20k, and then my account got deleted. But at that time, it wasn't anything; it was just selfies, and I think I got literally a couple of free things.
Did you cry?
No, because at that point, I wasn't really doing anything with it, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
It was just, I was like getting followers, but it wasn't really like, this is like a job or the free stuff. I wasn't getting any of that, so that was fine. Then the second time I got to like 50k, and then I got hacked, and that was a bit more like, because that was when I was getting like the free stuff, and I started to get a little bit of like money on the side, like not like I am now, but just like a little bit of money here and there. But I think, 2018 was when I first started to get the free stuff and, you know, a bit of money, and I was like, oh, like, brands started contacting me, and I started getting reposted on, like, baddie pages and things like that. So, like, a lot of, I think, so 2018 was when I first started, like, getting into it.
Who was your first, like, recognised brand that you thought, this is sick, like, I'm going to get free stuff from this brand?
Miss Pap was... I remember I was on holiday and they emailed me and I was like, oh my god, like Miss Pap, like, and back in the day, like, I think that was like, well, they still are, but like, they was a really good brand. And I was like, oh my god, so I got like loads of bikinis like from them, and I was like, oh my god, this is so cool. And literally I was just like, oh my god, like, they want to work with me, like, that's such a big thing, like, as a girl, like, who used to buy this stuff, and now I get to work them. I was like, oh my god, like, so yeah, they were the first brand.
Did your following pick up massively after that? What was kind of the turning point? Do you know what it was or not?
I don't really know, to be honest. I think when I got reposted on, I think I was reposted on Lasula's page, and that's when I noticed I had a big influx of followers, and I was like, oh, okay. And then obviously other brands reached out to me from that post because they see me on there. So I don't think there's like one specific thing I could say that was what happened, but yeah, I think it was just from that, I think.
So you obviously did Cabin Crew, which I know you absolutely loved and stuff. So after that kind of fell apart, which is what happened really, wasn't it? Thomas Cook
lasted 6 months.
Yeah, like, it had the best job ever, and then smack back down to reality. I can't do this anymore. But do you reckon that drove you into, like, I'm going to make this a thing now? Because after that is when you kind of just went full time with it, wasn't it?
Yeah, like, because when I was flying, I used to obviously post, and I got a lot more followers when I was flying, because everyone was like, oh my god, this is sick, like, what, like, oh my god, like, because a lot of girls used to DM me, like, oh, how'd you get into this job? And I got a lot more following that way, and I was like, oh, that's cool. But again, I wasn't really taking it very seriously. Like, I used to get, like, the free stuff, but I wasn't, again, it wasn't much of a job at that point, because I had my job and that was like my life.
Yeah.
But yeah, when that obviously went bust and everything, I thought, wow, I've got this platform, like, let's just go for it. Yeah. Just took a risk.
Got nothing to lose.
No, and now, it's my full-time job, so it's pretty cool.
Do you feel lucky, like, that you get to do it full-time?
Yeah.
Because everyone will look at it from the outside and think, oh my god, she gets loads of free stuff. But I know, like, from when I come over and stuff, and you're like, I've got this amount of stuff to do, I've got to do this, like it looks very
glamorous,
easy
like,
and glamorous, but in actual fact, like, you have to be doing a certain amount of stuff to keep up that following, don't you?
Yeah, like, you have to, you know, there's deadlines, there's posts to be done, there's stories, there's videos, there's TikToks now, so it's like, and as well, you know, if you do, say, you know, you do your makeup, you do your hair, you do this post for a brand and they don't like it, like, you have to do it all over again. And I know it's like, oh, like, well, you have to do that again, but girls with the makeup and the hair, like, that takes long enough as it is, and it's like, oh, okay. And then, you know, and then other brands will be like, oh, have you posted this yet? And like, brands are very like, what's the word, like, they're on it with you. They're like, oh, have you done this yet? Have you done that yet? And then all of a sudden you've got like a pile of stuff and you're like, oh my god, I have to do this, I have to do that. Like, it is obviously rewarding, like, the job's amazing and I would never like change it for anything, but it is hard work, and I think a lot of people don't think it is, like, a lot of hard work.
You get a lot of messages, don't you, that you're like, how did you do this? And it's like, I didn't just wake up overnight and think, I'm going to do this. Like, it was a lot of like determination,
a lot of and work in the background that I had to put in, and you know, you have to take content for hours on end without getting anything back. Like, when I used to do it for free and just I wanted to build my page, I want these brands to work with me, so I had to put in the effort and the work without getting anything back. And now I would say since the end of last year is the time where I'm like, wow, this is actually all
paying off.
Yeah, it's paying off now, and that's took me probably like 4 years.
Yeah, and a lot of hard work and
a lot of
stress as well, because it's not all like glamorous. There's certain things that are not nice. Like, we'll go into in a bit, but just like the people's perception and people's attitude towards you, I guess, is not always like, oh, you're amazing, and not that you expect it to be, but it's not always like that, is it?
No.
Who would you say your favourite, like, what's your favourite job been that you've done so far?
My favourite, definitely working with Fashion Nova.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my god, when I got that email, I was like, oh my god. I was in New York at the time, and I was like, oh my god, like, because they've got like millions of followers, and I was like, oh my god, this brand wants to work with me. Like, again, that was like a pinch me moment. Yeah, and I was like, oh my god, like this brand is amazing. So that was probably my favourite brand, or like jobs that I've done with them. So yeah, definitely them.
And let's talk about the stuff you get that's not clothes. Like,
yeah.
I go around and they're like, oh, we're going to London this weekend because I've got a free stay, and it's like, what, a free stay?
I know.
In London, like, it's quite
that
a big,
sick.
Yeah, like
that
those kind of jobs are really, they make it worthwhile.
Yeah, of course.
It's experiences as
yeah,
well.
like, and that's, again, that's a recently new thing to me as well, like the whole getting offered like stays and getting offered going to restaurants for free, or, you know, clubs and things like that. So that's a relatively new thing for me at the moment. But again, I'm just like, oh my god, like, just every time I get a new email or something new, I'm like, oh my god, that's like sick. Like, and it's almost like a pinch me moment, because you're like, oh, I've worked so hard to get to this place now, and like 4 years ago I'd be like, oh my god, I'd never be able to do that. I'd never get a free stay, I'd never get that. So yeah, it is exciting. Have you
ever had a brand that's wanted to work with you and you don't like the product, so you're like, I'm not going to do that?
I used to work with, I don't know if you've seen them. Oh, actually, no,
we don't need to name and shame, but a brand.
Okay, so there was a brand that I worked with for a bit, and then I thought, you know what, I actually don't like what you stand for. And I changed my mind, even though, you know, like, it's money, but at the end of the day, I want to be, you know, as real as I can on Instagram in certain areas. So I was like, I don't really want to work with you anymore. Not in like a horrible way. I just said, if that's not me. So I said,
I think you pick that up though as well, don't you?
And
you
it's learning as well.
What sits with you and what's authentic to you. Like, you can't please everybody.
No.
And like you say, like, although it's money and it's a job, it's like, if you're going to continue,
and your reputation as well.
Yeah.
Like, you know, I don't want people to think, oh, like, why is she promoting that, or like, oh, that's a bit, or like, even, do you know what I mean? And I think I have to be true to myself. So I said, I've liked working with you, but I can't work with you anymore because of just certain things.
Which is fair enough. You learn as you go. When you was a kid, what was your, like, what did you want to do? What did you want to do as a job?
Oh my god, I don't even know what I wanted to do. Oh, I wanted to do like nails and like beauty and stuff like that.
Oh, did you? Same.
Yeah.
Like I think most
I wanted to be a hairdresser.
Every girl wants to be a hairdresser until they see the paycheck, and then they're like, I'm good, thanks.
I was like, yeah, I want to be a hairdresser. Then I went to college and did like, you know, the beauty and nails and all that.
Is that what you did at college?
Yeah, so I did that, like, passed it all, and then I thought, oh, I'm not going to do anything with that now. I'm going to go into retail for like 5 years. Yeah, so yeah, I just wanted to be a hairdresser and do beauty, all that kind of thing, because I still am girly, but that was like what I wanted to do. But yeah, then like flying was just like I didn't have that in mind at all, but that just happened.
Did you just apply for it and then get it and just say, oh
yeah,
my God,
I was actually in my retail job in the outlet, and my friend was on like a break from flying with them, so it was like a winter break where she had to get a job and then she could go back with them in the summer. But I was like, oh, like, what's it like flying? So she's like, yeah, it's really good, rah, rah. And I was like, oh, you know what, I'm just going to apply. I think I was just sick of my job. I do such weird things sometimes. I was like, oh, I'm just going to apply for it. And she was like, okay. So she was like, that's so weird. Like, you've never said you like flying before. I was like, yeah, I know. I'm just going to do it. And then, they emailed me back. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to get this job. Like, this is so joke. Like, it was sort of like, not a joke, but I just thought, oh, I'll just see what happens.
Yeah.
And then went for the interview, and then I got it. And I was like, what? And I was like, I don't even know if I'm going to be any good at this.
I don't know if I can do this.
I was like, I don't even know. Because I've only, like, I don't mind flying, but I wasn't like, oh my God, I love flying. Like, now I am. But, like, back then I was just like, oh my God, my mum was like, are you even going to like this? I was like,
I
don't know. I was like, I don't know. It was just really random. But
you loved it though, right? Like,
yeah, literally, like, oh, it still makes me upset now when I think about it. I'm like, I literally loved that job. That was an amazing job. So good.
Yeah. So doing everything that you do, and we obviously live in quite a small town, like, I guess this is two parts to my question. It's like, in the beginning, did you care what people thought? And how do you feel about that now?
So when I was like 21, 22, I did care then because I was sort of young, and like it wasn't really, what's the word, like a cool thing to do or whatever. It wasn't like everyone's like, oh my God, like you take selfies and post on Instagram. Like people used to like say certain things, and I'd be like, oh, like I just want to get free stuff. Like, I'm just trying to do something.
I'm just trying to do something with my life.
And I was like, oh, and then yeah, a lot of people would say a lot of comments back then. Now
to your face or around you?
Like a few people would be like, oh, like you post like this on Instagram, like that's like weird. Like I had a few comments, to be fair, when I was like working in certain places, and but yeah, that was when I was younger. But now I don't care at all what people think.
Yeah.
Like at all. I would say the last like 2 years I've been like, I don't care. Like
Yeah.
I could post whatever I want.
At the end
Doesn't
of the day,
bother
you're not
me.
paying my bills.
No, it doesn't bother me. I feel like you have to be like that to be in this industry as well. You have to kind of not, like there's like a, I don't know what it's called.
What?
Like I don't know, like you have to be like block people out kind of thing.
Tunnel
like,
vision.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
I was thinking, what's that word? But yeah, you have to be like that, because otherwise you won't go very far if you care what people think.
No,
for sure.
I've learned that as well. Like, who gives a shit? If
I think
people
it
are going
just
to hate
happens
anyway.
when you get
so
older, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like our age, I feel like we're just kind of like, oh, like we don't care.
Yeah.
But like when you're like 21, 22, you're like, oh my god, I
really
don't want to do
influenced
that.
by other people and what their thoughts are,
Mm-hmm.
and it does hold you back like massively. Like I probably wanted to do something like this for years, and then it's taken me probably till I met Siege actually, and he was just like, well, why are you not doing it? And I was like, oh, people, you know, people might not like what I say. Like, who cares?
Yeah, I know.
It's like
oh,
doesn't
like
matter.
someone's opinion. Like,
and now I do it. I just think if anyone has got an opinion, like absolutely, I'm always open for a discussion. If people's got a different opinion to me, that's what I want. Like,
of course.
Anyone has a different opinion to me, come on the pod, because like that's what I
That's
like.
the
I
whole
like a
point
healthy
of-
debate.
yeah, exactly.
But I'm sure there's probably comments that happen behind my back that, but then, you know, that's their problem. That's not my problem. If you've got, that's something that, like, I think my mum has said to me before, like, if somebody has an issue with you, that's their issue. It's not your issue. It's that's their issue, and it's for them to deal with. Like,
you're
you
like,
shouldn't be
what? I
bothered.
didn't realise there was an issue.
Yeah.
Like, for sure, yeah.
Speaking of issues, have you had any, like, if you've got a massive following on Instagram, whereas in comparison to me, you've got a massive following. So, and you must have like loads of DMs and stuff all the time. Do you have like negative people in your DMs or on your pictures or on your Twitter or whatever it may be?
I have, to be fair, I am quite lucky. I don't get a lot of like negative DMs or like trolls or like hate and stuff like that. I have been quite lucky, but I do get like the odd, you know, oh, you look orange or too much makeup or, you know, whatever. Like, that does not, I mean,
things that I
how
do
many
not care
times
about.
have I been called orange? I mean, Christ, like,
That's the best thing you can
like
do.
my whole life, do you know what I mean?
It's my skin tone.
It's me.
Yeah.
But yeah, or like, I might have, fake, like the odd troll saying fake on my pictures or things like that, but I don't.
Always
again,
from an account with no picture and no followers and stuff.
It just, I don't know, things like that. Just it doesn't bother me because it's very, you know, minimal in compared to some people that I know have had really bad hate and it's horrible. I've been quite lucky, touch wood, that I've not had that, but yeah, not really.
I always look at those things. Like sometimes I get like views on my story from just bot pages which have got like no followers or no picture,
like a weird username,
and I just
like
think,
user
what a
1, 2, 3, 4,
sad
5,
little
6,
life,
7.
Jane. Like you've set up a profile to see my profile, which I've only got like, I don't know, 900 followers or something. Like, why are you spying on my page? Just follow me on your page. I'm not gonna invite you.
People are strange that make these
odd.
accounts, man. Like, they are strange.
Like, that's their life. Like some people, and I know you've got you've got fans. Like,
I've got fans.
Chloe gets some strange messages and from odd, I mean, mostly probably men, isn't it? That like send you like love poems and like strange messages, and I just think like you're so good with it, because like it would just freak me out a little bit, I think, but you just like laugh at it and you're so funny, you don't care.
No.
What's some of the weirdest messages you've had?
God. I've had just weird messages. I'm just literally trying to think of like weird ones. So I've had like literally people write me, like you say, like big like love poems, like, oh, you're like just so weird stuff. Or like I've had like people, oh, like, can you sell me your socks?
Send me your smelly socks. We were
or
talking about this on last pod.
Or when I was in Covent Garden, all your shoes, like your tights.
Sweaty shoes. Please, can you send me your sweaty shoes? Are these profiles though, like actual people? Like you think that they're normal people?
Like some of them like would have like a family and a wife on their profile picture, and I've called out someone messaged me that, and I think I actually screenshotted it and put it on my story. And I was like, don't you have a wife? And I was like, why? I'm not having that. Like, that is so disrespectful.
Why do you want my shoes?
Yeah.
What are you going to do with those shoes? It's worrying, isn't it? I know when somebody asked you for socks and Mitchell was like, send them. I'll wear them all day at work and then we'll send them to that person and they can have my smelly socks. And it's so funny because like
it is. Oh, it's hilarious.
You're obviously in a relationship, and you get those odd messages and stuff. And some people might look at it and think like, God, that must be really hard to deal with. But I know like your relationship is so good, and like you just sit there at night time and probably have a great time. It's like joke of the day, isn't it? Like
literally, we used to just go, or like he'd just sit there and he'd be like, "What the hell is that?" Like, we'd literally just be sat there for ages, like just scrolling through these DMs and just having a laugh. Like it's just because these people, like, they're not, you know. Some of them are just a bit weird, so it's like they're just weirdos. And it's just like you just gotta laugh, otherwise. What else are you gonna do? I
know. Do you reply to these messages? Like, do you?
No.
Obviously, you don't. No.
I don't reply to anyone. No.
Thank you for my poem.
Oh God, I think like unless, like I said, that one that had a wife, or if I see certain people that have, you know, relationships or stuff, I will call them out. Like one time, someone messaged me ages ago. And I replied and I was like, your girlfriend's in your bio. I was like, have some respect for yourself.
Yeah.
And then he blocked me before I had a chance. Literally, I was trying to find her profile, but he blocked me before I had a chance to find her profile. And I thought,
because it's not okay.
I really don't like stuff like that. It really annoys me because I just don't like things like that. But yeah, some people are rude.
Yeah, a lot of people are rude.
And weird.
On the flip side to that, do you ever get approached? Obviously, we do live in a small town, so like, do you ever get approached? Because like, obviously, when people say, oh, like Chloe Bain, I'm like, to me, that's my sister-in-law. Like, like to me,
it's weird.
It's weird because I'm like,
I'm
oh my
not
God,
famous.
Yeah. Like people look at you, especially from this town, and think, oh, you know, you've got a big following and stuff. So do you ever get like approached or anything anywhere to say like?
I have done, like, most of the time when I was like going out or like going to like tree and places like that, like out at night, I would get quite a lot of people like coming up to me, or like girls in the bathroom and things like that. Like it is nice because then people are like, oh, like I follow you on Instagram. I'm like, oh, thanks. Like it's really sweet.
I'll tell you a story. So my cousin is like 12.
Oh yeah.
And she was doing an Instagram live because like that's what kids do now. Like they just get on Instagram live with their mates.
Yeah, literally.
And I came on the live to just be like, oh, I wonder what she's talking about. And then some young girl was like, oh, who's Chella? And my cousin said, so instead of just saying, oh, that's my cousin, she said, oh, you know Chloe Bain? That's her boyfriend's sister. No, hang on a second. And do you know what? I felt my age because I thought, instead of being like, oh, that's my cousin, she's cool, it was, oh, you know Chloe Bain, the influencer? Well, that's her boyfriend's sister. Like, I was absolutely mortified.
I remember you texted me and we were just creasing.
Yeah, I couldn't believe it. I was like, at what point do you know your cousin as an influencer's boyfriend's sister? Like, I'm related to you. I knew you first. Like, know your place.
Stop.
But
I went on there once with Mitch, or not with Mitch, I can't remember. And we were sat there and she was like hiding, she's like, it's Chloe Bain.
It's Chloe
Bain. Bain's on my life. I was literally crying. I was like, oh my God. She's like, no, it's just Chloe Bain's on here. I was literally, me and Mitch were literally laughing. Like, it was so funny. It was the way she was like, not in the camera. And I was like, I can see. She's like trying to hide from the camera.
There must be so many young girls that probably...
I do get, to be fair, I get a lot of young girls like that sort of age, like 12, 13, like follow me. And like my sister, for example, like her friend...
Yeah, because how old's your sister now? She must be around the same age.
God, I should know that. 13 or 14?
Yeah.
14, I think. Or 14 coming up. But, yeah, like her friends would like follow me, or like her boy mates would follow me, and I'd be like, oh god, and she'd be like, no, I hate it. Like, my friends see you in your underwear, I hate it. And I'd be like, oh god, so I'd go through like blocking all these like 12-year-olds off my Instagram. And she'd be like, yeah, can you block them? I'd be like, yeah, okay. So funny.
Does she get like a lot of like people at school recognise?
Yeah.
Obviously, you've got the same last name.
Yeah, yeah, all the time. Like when she used to go to school, or like her friends would be like, oh yeah, I follow your sister's Instagram, or like on the bus, or like I did feel a bit sorry for her, to be fair, at points, because I was like, oh, like that mustn't be that nice, because she's only small, like, you know what boys can be like, especially at that age, like, oh, your sister's in a bikini, like, and I was like, oh god. But yeah, she was like, oh, for God's sake. I was like, sorry, Meg.
Yeah. You'll thank me one day.
Yeah. When I'm famous.
Yeah. So if you was to do all of this again, would you do anything differently, do you think?
I'd probably take it more seriously, like back when I was younger.
Yeah.
Only because, like, my age now, I'm not saying like I'm like old or whatever, but you know, I'm 27 this year. Realistically, in this industry, I mean, like by the time I'm 30 or things like that, I probably won't be doing the posts that I am now or things like that. Do you know what I mean?
It will evolve into something different, won't
yeah,
it?
I'll probably, you know, when I have kids, I'll probably do like a mum channel or things like I have got like thoughts of what I want to do when I get older, but like, yeah, I wish I kind of took it seriously when I was 20, 21, because I see people who are 21 and they're smashing it and they're doing what I'm doing now, and I'm like, oh, you've got so many more years of doing that, and I think I just left it a bit too late. But that's the only thing I would do differently, is take it more seriously.
Do you have any regrets from the stuff you have done, apart from that, I guess?
No, I don't think so. I
That's
don't really.
good.
Yeah, I don't really regret anything. I think if you wanted to do it at the time, then yeah, you wanted to do it. Do you know what I mean? I don't regret anything, for sure.
And what, like you just mentioned it a little bit there, like you have got plans for like how your like content will evolve, but like do you have goals yourself for like the next few years? Like I probably know a little bit about what they are, but like for everybody else that like watching.
I think like I wanna like maybe do like my own brand of something, maybe like in the next like couple of years. Like I definitely want to still, you know, work with brands and see where that takes me. I'd love to like have an edit with a brand, so like put my name on like clothes. You've probably seen that on Instagram and stuff. And yeah, like I say, like when I get older, when I have kids, I want to maybe do like more of like a mum kind of channel thing, like do you know what I mean? Yeah, that kind of thing. But yeah, that's kind of what I have in my head. I mean, I don't know if that will go to plan, but yeah,
it's good to have goals, manifest.
But yeah, I don't really like, I'm not like, oh, I know what I want to do, but I kind of have ideas. So yeah, I'm just kind of
seeing where it takes you.
Yeah, I'm enjoying what I'm doing right now, and I'm just kind of just living in the moment of what I'm doing at the minute.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And what about like personal goals? I know that obviously you and Mitch are like saving for a house and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Did you ever think like, I don't know, like a year ago that you would be in the situation that you're in now, in terms of like you guys are like taking quite big steps, like it's like grown up shit now.
I know, it is scary. Like I feel like I've only started to become a grown up like the last like and I'm like 26. It's like, oh my god, like it is scary, but I think it's definitely like the right time for us to be like saving for a house and stuff, and we want to like do all of that. So yeah, it is scary, but it's exciting as well. And I'm like, we're both in very good positions with work and like stuff like that. So I feel like now is definitely the right time. I feel like everything happens for a reason. Yeah, it's really 100%. Weird how things like work out.
Yeah, because you and Mitch have known each other for like I don't know, years. A bit like me and Siege, like you kind of like know each other.
16 or something like that, and it's just weird how like
now you're stuck with
I know.
Enjoy.
Just how
I've only dealt with it for the last 20 years. It's fine.
Literally, like it's weird, like how I message on Facebook. Now we're like, now I like live with him, and it's just like everything has moved very quick pace for us. But I feel like it's worked out really well, because some people were like, oh my god, you're moving in, like it's very quick, everything's so quick, and it's like, but it's worked out like amazing. It's like it doesn't feel very quick, but it is. Like,
it's
do you know
weird,
what I mean?
isn't it? Because we like you and Mitch got together a similar time as me and Siege did, really, and
Yeah.
I think lockdown has either like make or break for a lot of couples, and
sure.
I think, you know, it put us all in a situation where it was like, well, we either live together or we don't see each other. And like obviously you and Mitch moved in, and me and Siege moved in and stuff, but I think like for both from our perspective, and we can't speak on behalf of anyone else, but it's worked really well that way, because you kind of like, it's weird, isn't it? You kind of go through those stages, but I know before that I've been with people for a couple of years, and you move in together or you spend all that time together and you think, oh my god, this is horrendous. And you have to have that experience of living with someone to know whether it's going to work or not.
Yeah, for sure.
So I think it is a make or break sort of time, but it's nice because like you've gone through that like intense.
We've done that now. So like when we move out into our home, I mean, we've already lived together for a year, so anything else really is quite easy, I think. Yeah. Because we've done kind of the whole, oh, you're annoying, like all that rubbish, do you know what I mean? So now it's like, okay, when we move out, we already know, I know what he doesn't like, he knows what I don't like, and vice versa. And yeah, it's definitely been a good thing, I think, that we moved in that quick, I think.
I think it's good as well for both of you that you're both kind of creative in your own space, because you understand each other's pressures. Yeah. So like, I don't know like much about your previous relationships or anything, but like the pressure, you obviously have things that you have to do on certain times, there's things that you have to do for content and stuff like that, but you both work quite well because you understand that you both have to do a similar type of thing. Yeah,
we do, and because we're both really in social media, because obviously his is music, mine's like posting content and stuff like that, but like we both have similar kind of jobs because they're both in the social media thing, so it's like I know that he takes, you know, hours editing, or like when he has people come in to do music, stuff like that, and I take a long time doing my content and editing, but like we both know like, okay, that's their thing and that's his thing, like we both understand each other on that level. And it's nice because some people are like and it's like, oh god, like
that makes it harder, like especially like you talked about not having any regrets, and I'm not doubting what you're saying, but like having somebody that supports you in what you're doing definitely accelerates things, doesn't it? Because it like
it's not like, you know, like when people are like, oh, like I don't know, like, oh, why are you doing that, or oh, I don't really
want you to do that, or
or I don't really like, or I mean that's not really a job, or like the amount of comments I've heard like, oh, that's not really a job, and it's like, well, it is if you're getting paid for it.
I'm
living on that, like that is my job. But it's like,
don't be a hater.
And it's like he is very, very understanding of what I do, and he's very, very supportive. Like I've never had anyone be supportive as him, so yeah, it's really good.
And I think like, because sometimes the content that you post, it's like, you know, that might be hard for some people in a relationship to handle, because I think we spoke about it on pod last time, where it's like that says more about the person that you're with really as an insecurity, because you guys are both so secure in your relationship, it doesn't matter what you post on your Instagram, because it's just for your Instagram.
And it is hard. Like I don't like when people say, oh, you know, I couldn't be with someone who posted in underwear pics or lingerie. Like I think I respect their opinion, and I think that's fair enough. You know, no one should have to put up with that if they don't want to. But I feel like if, you know, you go, say, like when we went on a date, for example, our first date, he knew what I did. I knew what he did.
Exactly.
And I was like, this is what I do. There, and I said, you know, this is what I do. You follow me on Instagram. You see what I post. You see what I do. And he's like, yeah, like I'm cool with that. And then that was it. Like it was very, very just simple conversation. But yeah, for sure, if you don't like that, then you don't like it. But I think it just depends.
It's what works for you.
Yeah,
every relationship is different. It's what works for you, and obviously for both of you, you have that trust anyway. And
100%.
You know, you might post all of that stuff, but at the end of the day, you're at the end of the night laughing at the weird DMs together. So it doesn't really matter, does it? Do you have any advice for people that are trying to get into it? Like, I know we've probably had this conversation again before, but like, what would be your biggest advice for somebody who's trying to get into like having that social media presence?
I think just like I said to you before, be consistent in what you're posting. Like if you post, say, like once a week, that's not going to work. Like you need to be posting, unfortunately, every other day, if not every day, if not twice a day. Like you need to be really on it and making you know, doing your content, be yourself online as well. You know, post pictures that you like, don't like copy people. I think that's where some people go wrong. I think a lot of people like to copy. I just post what I want to post and the outfits that I want to post, and a lot of people think, oh, like, I need to post what they're doing. Like, be yourself and do you, because that's what people will follow you for you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So be consistent, work hard, and, you know, email these brands, reach out to these brands. They're not all going to come to you. You have to network with them as well. So yeah, that's probably the advice that I would give, for sure.
Okay. Okay, everyone knows at the end of pod I ask if there's anything you like want to tell people to watch, or something you've been enjoying watching or listening to or something. So what is your thing?
So it's Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Okay. I'm a bit old to this because I know this has been on for about 20 years, but I've only just started, well, not only, like the last couple of months, literally I'm obsessed with it. Like,
how obsessed are you, Chloe? How obsessed are you with that program?
So, like, a couple of weeks back, I messaged Lisa, LVP. People know who that is. I will show you what I said. Oh my god, I'm so gay, but I don't care.
Your biggest fan?
Literally, like, I love her.
Like, biggest fan, Chloe Bain.
Hey Lisa, you're great. I love you on Beverly Hills. Me and my boyfriend are your #1 fans, lol. She's not replying.
She didn't even read it.
She's not even read it. I was like, oh, cheers, Lise.
Speaking of that, though,
I always comment on her photos as well. So funny.
I love you so much.
That's what you get for airing all those messages you're
Do you get like loads of messages? Do you try to keep on top of your messages?
Yeah, so like I'll sit down and like I'll filter out like the weird comments, like the weirdos, and then I'll just obviously go through the girls' messages, like people ask me questions, or like as I said, where's this from, where's that from, or like any question, like what makeup do you use, like I'll make sure I reply to people because I think it's important.
Yeah.
Especially if you can, like people, like if you've got like 1 million followers, that's probably hard.
Yeah.
But if you can reply to people, then I think you should. The people that don't, I think it's a bit rude.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like you can't
Do you
just
ever feel like you need like a break? Because like I have a full-time job, but I book holiday, so then I get a break from that, so I don't have to think about it. Whereas yours is like, you can't escape from your phone. So like, do you ever feel like you need a break away from social media?
Yeah, I had this like a couple months back. I was speaking to my friend Meg about it, and I was like, oh, I just feel like I need a bit of time off. Like I don't want to be doing content this week. I just didn't want to do anything to do with it that particular week. And I'd never took time off from it, but I was like, oh, and Meg was like, well, other people book holiday. She was like, you're self-employed, like you're your own boss. She was like, so write a little email out and say I'm not like working or whatever. So that's what I did, and I just took the week off, and I just emailed brands and said I'm not in work, like I'll be back this date next week. So I thought, well, because like you say, other people take holiday, so for me I think it's just on my terms, I guess.
Health. Like it's
a lot. It is hard. Like sometimes I'm like, oh, I can't be bothered with it today, or like I'm not mentally.
Lack motivation. You're a normal person. Like, and I think for me, even me, sometimes like social media and
it's draining.
The same. Like you just have to come off it sometimes and remove yourself a little bit.
You do, because
just have a break,
like a mental break, and just be like, right, like I'm not gonna, go on. Well, I'll go on my Instagram, but I'm not gonna go on my Instagram for work purposes. Because when I go on Instagram, I never just scroll through. I'm always thinking about what I can do next, or what I can post next, or content ideas and stuff. So yeah, I did take a little break, and I will be doing that like in the future, because I was doing it too much. Like I was working too much, and Mitch was like, you need to like just chill, and I was like, yeah, I know, because whenever I would pick up my phone, it'd be for work, and it was like sort of 11, 12 at night, and he'd be like, come on, like
get some
chill now, like put your phone down. And I was like, so now when it comes to like 9 o'clock, my phone's off and I'm not looking at anything to do with that, just because for me it helps me unwind at night, and I'm like, right, I can just chill.
I can imagine, otherwise it just gets a bit much.
Well,
that's good to know. My thing for recommendations is I have been absolutely binge watching the shit out of Snowfall. which is a series on. I don't think it's originally a BBC series, but it's on BBC, and it's about like the sale of crack. It doesn't start off like that, but drug sales in America.
Oh yeah.
Through the 70s and 80s, and how the crack, like the height of that kind of game came about, and the creation of it and stuff like that. And like I'm massively interested in drugs and stuff like that, a bit weirdly, but obsessed with it. So for me, it's like mad interest in how that all kind of came about and how it was in America. So that's really, really interesting. So check that out if you haven't. You're going to go home and watch that now. Yeah, because if you love
Mitch, because Mitch will like that.
Yeah, you love, and it's a good series. Like me and Siege watch it together because we both like it. So it's a good one to watch. So I've been binge watching that. We're on series 3 now. So I think there's actually a 4th series, isn't there?
Yeah, but I don't think it's on iPlayer.
It's not on iPlayer, but like we can get around that. So that's what I've been watching. But yeah, thanks for coming on, babe. I'm glad that everyone's got to see the real you and like what you're really like, because like you say, like an online presence is an online presence, but I know you personally, and like I just wanted everyone else to see like how funny and annoying you are. So everybody, thanks for joining, thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and check out our new videos.